Hello and welcome to another session of Godbound. This is a game by Kevin Crawford from Sin Nomine. I think that's the name of the publishing house. This is an OSR adjacent game of characters with lots of power. And our characters have spent the last few sessions in the Assassin's Library. And they have had some plans come to fruition. They've had some plans get a little bit at cross purposes, let us say. But I do want to, before I get too much further, give everybody a point of dominion. I think you've interacted with potent people. You've pushed on things. You've beaten some people in races. These are all, like, for me, dominion is when you have a chance to interact with wonders or do amazing things that cause influence. And again, the difference between influence and dominion is influence. You use it to change the world and you can take it back. And dominion is you put it permanently into something. You can use it to essentially make permanent changes to the world. You guys can pool together your dominion and your influence to do things. So in the actual Godbound, for those of you watching at home, you gain influence through doing great deeds, and you also have to spend a certain amount of influence, gain and spend it to go up levels. It acts as a second thing besides the experience table. I don't usually use that because that's too much tracking, and I don't want to track any more stuff. So let me check in. Is everybody good with their words or any changes? Anything I should know about on that score? Ransom, no. Tassos, no. Threadless, no. And Evedro, or rather, I'm sorry, it's Ordevi at the moment. Am I correct? All right. So last time you interacted with the two orders of the assassins here, the Azure and the Ochre, and plots were put into place. People were interacted with. You found out some things about how this place operates behind the scenes. You put some plots and plans into order. We take up with everyone gathered at this lunar ball. So certainly all of the assassins, the named assassins that you've met are there, plus the dozen plus other assassins who are kind of in the wings, plus a handful of scholars who are guests, plus a number of permanent servants, those kinds of things that are moving around. So there are a number of people who are there that you can interact with. There is music, there is food, there's a great set of the moons up in the sky. There are the constellations around, and we take up with all of you arriving there. You will notice that a person that you haven't seen around, but who's present, is Hosk, the harbor master, who you met when you first came in, who helped arrange things. He seems to be like one of the few locals who's been invited to this kind of thing. But of course, the other thing I think I mentioned last time is that you saw Nuanlao, the woman that you spoke with, Tassos, is there. And I think you will see hovering at around the margins, Tyler, you will see that Lasia is there. And some other unusual people. So let me ask this then, Captain. How do you want to make your entrance? How do you want to present yourself?
Well, as I mentioned, I have kind of the feathered thing going on, and they have that sharp edge to them. But I think that is there music?
Oh yeah, there are musicians that are playing over off to the side. I think the thing that will strike you is when you kind of approach, you see that there are stringed instruments and woodwinds and things like that. And with your practiced eye, you can see that all of them probably have concealed weapons in them. That kind of thing, yeah, even as they are playing. There's clearly some magical amplification here that the music carries throughout the room.
I'll look at my companions and say, well, let's mingle as best we can. And I will move towards the dance floor. And if I see someone there who's on the periphery looking like, boy, I wish someone would ask me to dance, I will bow and begin dancing.
Well, I think that there is a certain amount of there are some people who are maybe swaying to the music, but you can definitely see that Kunal is kind of standing off by himself. Vaniki and Ton Sakar are there. But who would you like to interact with? Who would you like to?
I don't know if I've actually met many of them very deeply.
You have in passing, because you would have been at that dinner where everyone was introduced.
Right.
To give you a sense of what they know, it is, I believe that Tassos, you shared at least something of, or was it Professor or Devi that got it, that had the sense of Rahan Din's kind of manipulation of the affections of a number of people here.
I'd run across that.
Yeah, including Vaniki and Tonsakar.
Well, then I think I'll go up to Vaniki and nod. And would you care to dance?
And she does that thing where she kind of looks over at Rahan, and Rahan is talking to other people, and so she bows deeply and loudly says, "Well, yes, Captain Ransom, I would very much like to dance."
And I imagine I'm quite good at it.
And you are. And I think that one of the things you realize is, as you're dancing, she's probably 19, 20, maybe. And she's desperately trying to present herself as older, doing all of those things, of trying to seem like the most sharp, smart adult in the room here.
She's not much younger than me. I think I'm only like 24 or so.
She will ask how you were enjoying your stay. Are you able to support your researchers?
It has been a remarkable stay. Your library is truly amazing, and everyone has been so extremely hospitable.
Well, good. I understood that there were some problems with the servants.
Not that I found.
Oh, so someone had said that Master Tassos was most unpleased.
Not that I could tell anything unusual of him. No. I do believe that Threadless managed to enjoy a bit of recreational exercise with a competitive streak, and I'm sure the good professor has been just like a sow in mud.
She kind of, it takes her a second to kind of parse that phrase. All right, I see. A recreational. I'm not sure what you mean about Threadless.
I believe that one of the masters and she got into a race.
And she's like, I hadn't heard anything of this.
I saw them whizzing by through the corridors on some sort of wheeled contraptions. Threadless was whooping in delight.
Oh. She didn't win, did she?
I wasn't there, but yes.
She winces. All right. Thank you for. I'll have to
Would that be a problem?
Master Mineraz is temperamental at best. He is the last of his order, and the weight of a certain amount of history is passed on to him.
It is my experience that those that would challenge Threadless should expect defeat.
I might not put that in those terms to him. I might approach that somewhat differently. He's very odd.
You, I believe, are of the Azure. Is that correct?
That I am. I am a initiate of the fourth path at this point.
At this point?
Yes, I hope to rise when the next job comes in to prove my mettle. That has been. There were unusual circumstances in the last task that I was sent on, and I have been on probation.
I'm very sorry to hear that. I'm sure it was nothing of your making.
It was an overreaction, and my father is overly protective of me.
Do I think she means father literally or figuratively?
Actually, literally. You kind of look over at the Azure senior, Ken DeSaga, and you can kind of see a family resemblance there. He was the person that Evedro insulted and then spoke with pleasantly last time as he apologized. So she's clearly dancing with you and attempting to kind of make a point about dancing with the incredibly handsome captain here. Tassos, what are you up to?
I am intrigued by Nwanlo being there, so I think on my way over towards her, I will give Rahantin the sort of stink eye the whole way across, and
he smiles and bows.
Just because, he's a jerk and we're in the middle of a high stress social situation, I would like to reach out and grab his fear of his delicate social webs being disrupted or falling apart and just ramp that up to 1,000.
There's that moment where he's standing there smiling, and then he kind of pulls himself back up, and then his eyes are darting around and about, and at least looking at the people, and they're staring at him, and he moves himself to a more protected, more enclosed position where not so many eyes are upon him.
Good. Now that he's having a more pleasant evening, I will go up and sort of bow to Nwanlo and hold out a hand to dance. I think just to add on to things for the scene, as Tassos came into the ballroom, you have the outfit, I think, that Threadless designed up for me, especially the jacket with the swirls and designs. But their skin darkens to this black night sky color with stars and constellations. Any sort of constellation or celestial body that is considered some form of ill omen in one culture or another is constantly just moving across his skin. their skin.
And she looks carefully at you, and she says, well, this is you clean up unexpectedly well and cut quite the dashing figure, Master Tassos.
It's probably just the setting, dirty alley versus whatever you would call this.
Oh, I think it's certainly more than that. Are you elemental blooded like some of the others? Is that what I see with your skin like this? Are you a child of the night?
I think that might be closer to the truth.
Interesting. Well, yes, you will have to lead. I'm unfamiliar with the dances here.
Don't worry, I know many different dances.
Then please, by all means.
I think there's like a minute or two of silence, sort of like sweeping into the dance and flowing with the music before Tessos reaches out with their mind again and very deliberately like pokes at that same spot that they were looking at before to try and dig into her fears.
And you'll hit that barrier, though. She's clearly waiting and prepared, and it washes around rather than her reacting with kind of a sudden gut churning thing. And she says, please, don't do that.
Does that mask show up again?
No.
Well, I was simply trying to see if you would dress for the occasion. I tried to. Here you are, looking so plain.
I am never plain, but I am prepared.
I think maybe you're hiding. Do you have something to be afraid of? Is there something you're hiding from?
We all have things we're afraid of. Even you.
No. It's something I've not been gifted with.
You would make a pretty thing.
Haven't I to be insulted?
No, I comment on the grace I'm beginning to see.
Yes, you speak of a potential, not something realized.
I do.
And you?
What of me?
When you sense potential?
Depends on the circumstances. Depends on what task I've been given.
If you're on a task, you're running to something, not away.
I fear that I have said too much, Master Tassos.
You always think we were just getting beginning.
You are not part of the assassins? Not bound as they are?
No. Although I do think I'll be associating more with them in the future. This place, it's alluring. It calls out.
It is full of potential. And she will bow and withdraw. Threadless. you will notice that as you kind of around, servants have come by where you're at and have brought like the sampler plates and trays and kind of set them nearby where you are. Clearly picking out the choicest things and putting them close by to congratulate you, as it were.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And she takes her time. She's scoping out the floor. I think deciding she's a little disappointed that Minoros isn't there, because then she would demand a dance from him. She may ask after that later.
If you ask them, we'll say, well, he has to come.
Oh, excellent.
So what do you want to do? Who do you want to talk to?
I think she looks at the person who seems the least concerned about what's going on, which is Evan Barnshaw.
Yeah.
And I think she, now, mind you, she will go to talk to her. And she's dressed in essentially what Threadless thinks of as appropriately skillful finery. So it's pretty, like, her hair is particularly bright red, and she's clearly like woven some gold threads into it. And the way that the hair falls over the top part of her gown, it exactly matches the red of her hair and the gold threads. So it looks like her, just kind of a complete cascade down to about her waist. And then the dress starts to change color, like moving to sort of yellows. And there's almost a sense of like a sunrise there. And then at the very bottom, it drops to the blue of the ocean and then dark to the black at the very, very bottom. And there's just little gold sort of that runs all the way through it that defines just little parts of things that are there, almost like the hint of what could have been there.
Mm.
But her sleeves, a little different. They're actually worked fairly extensively with gold thread. And one of the things is the bottom of her sleeves, when she lifts it up, it has that thing of like a crossbow, like that has been embroidered there on both of them. And the thing at her sleeve cuts in to across her hand, and you can see like what looks like a gold embroidered arrow on it. Those are on both of those. So that is her finery. And I think when she approaches Evan Barnshaw, she sort of will bow to her and say, I may be asking above my station, but would you dance with me?
They will look at you. They actually kind of take a little bit of a step back from the brightness and brilliance that you give, and you notice a kind of a shift upon him in the darkness, and you can tell that there's definitely something supernatural about him in that, but he will pull himself together, and he will say, yes, Threadless, wasn't it?
Yes. You are Evan?
Yes.
Pleased to meet you. And she says it in that formal way that she's practiced it. So does a little bit.
And they bow and say, yes, I have studied the dances.
Excellent, because I have not. But
one has
I won't
to
step on your feet.
Oh, good. It is something that we are trained in. One has to be able to blend in should you need to.
Never tried to blend in.
No, I can't imagine you have.
Well, let's see what it's like then.
Do you think you're a good dancer, Threadless?
It's very high dexterity.
Absolutely. Then I think very quickly you have the opportunity to take the lead.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't lead because she follows perfectly, if that makes any sense. Because that's part of the way things work too.
What do you want to know? What do you want to ask him about, interact with him about?
I'll ask him about what are the other things that an assassin practices for the purposes of blending and traveling and all of those things.
We learn how to, my order learns how to present themselves as other than what they are.
Like a servant?
No, I can appear as a ghost or a spirit or those things. We train in ways of becoming, taking our seeming and making it unnatural.
So, do you use fear as part of your shield?
No, not particularly.
And they're with ochres, so that means that they can kill supernatural things, right?
Yes.
Oh, and then she stops to say, "Oh, wait, it would be so that you can actually strike your target, isn't it?"
Exactly.
That makes so much sense. She goes, "I was being very person-minded."
That's the other group.
Yes. Well, she goes, "No, I mean, I was thinking like a person myself."
Are you not a person?
Mostly I am. Certainly first.
Oh, I'm sympathetic to that.
Excellent. And and then as there's that sort of pause between one song and another, and she waits with them and then starts with the second
Okay.
song.
Let's come to Ordevi. Are you a dancer or are you more of a hanger at the side and mingler and chatter?
Debbie is sitting at one of the tables that I assume they've got set up so people can sit and eat. And there is a large group of people with him. And he is regaling them with stories about Ivedro, his brother, and how just all the kind of ridiculous situations that Ivedro has found himself in because of his attitude and abrasive personality. So it may be one or two assassins, but it's also, I think, largely the servants who have all encountered Ivedro and have developed a sour opinion of him.
Absolutely. I think you will see a number of the minor assassins have kind of come to hang around the servants. You will see that there is one kind of head servant with a grayish skin, sort of the salt and pepper hair, who kind of swings by every once in a while and maybe taps one or two of them as to say, you should probably get back to work. But I think there'll be a bit in between that. You will see Candisaga approaches, and he says, Master Ordevi, may I interrupt?
It's your party. I don't think you are interrupting at all. Pull up a chair. Food has been amazing. And I'm only just getting started with my stories to tell.
And he will sit. So the servants drift off a little bit at that once he's there. And certainly the assassins that are of the Azure who are there get maybe a little bit more like sit up straight and try and but he will say, I had the opportunity to speak with your brother.
I recall, yes.
May I ask a personal question?
I'm an open book.
Good. Then is it that you share the same body?
Do I look the same?
You do not, and yet there are elements that are not dissimilar. I do not precisely understand how it is that you and Professor Vedro are connected.
I will admit, I don't fully understand it myself. I have his memories, and yet if he cuts his finger, I do not have an injury. So it is one of life's mysteries.
That is very interesting. I know there were techniques among our order about the passing back and forth of essences and memories, but nothing like this.
I will admit, I do not understand it. And with all of the intelligence that he brings to the table, he has not really been able to figure it out.
Have you found what you are looking for here in the library?
Oh, I'm not interested in books. It's the people that I like to talk to. I like hearing their stories. I like understanding what makes them tick. And Evedro would never agree to do that kind of research. He leaves that to me.
I see. He is not a field researcher.
It depends on what kind of field we're talking about. But if there were an ancient site with not a lot of people in it, totally his kind of thing. But a building filled with beautiful, clever, interesting people, I am in my element.
And what is it you seek, Ordevi?
Well, now that is a question that no one's ever asked me before. I want to understand what makes people do the things they do. I seek knowledge of the soul.
Interesting.
I think so. So what do you seek?
I seek the continuation of my order. I seek sustainability within the old ways. I seek for my being able to hand on everything that I have built here.
To Viniki.
Maybe not her.
Does she know that?
She's young. She will abide by whatever decision I make.
Technically, my brother and I are the same age, but he is also young, if you know what I mean.
He is certainly spirited,
Mm,
full of clever ideas.
yes, lots of good stories that I can
Yes.
then use. I wonder if I might commit effort
Yeah.
and choose a target. So I'm going to disclose the flaw. I don't know if I did this already, but target an institution. He's the Azure, right?
Yeah.
So I'm targeting the Azure and to know its current weakness and most vulnerable elements. Is that something that I've already discerned? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think you read a little bit of actually Temple Durjaya's weakness in her her interactions with Kunal, and I think you poked at Ken and got some sense of his traditionalism.
Right.
But I think there is a weird thing that you get when you go to read this.
Okay.
Like the weakness of things changes from time to time. It's not always the weakness of something, right? It can be in a particular time, a particular contingency, a particular moment. And I think you will realize that all of these assassins, both orders, are magically connected together. They are all tied to some power. They're all tied to a word. And for some reason, that pops up for you as the vulnerability.
Sure. There's no redundancy in their network. I get it.
Let me come back to Captain Ransom. You will dance with some other people. You are a striking figure there. There are some of the who you guess are the most honored of the servants who are given a chance to attend on their own recognizance, and there are the other assassins, and you are a amazing person to dance with and be seen with. What do you want to do? Who do you want to talk to now?
I think I want to go over to Lasia and just, not trying to draw attention. It'll be one of these, yes, a moment, a bit of refreshment as I move away from the dance floor, grab a drink, and kind of move over towards her.
She will nod to you as she slips some more food into the pockets of her outfit there. And she says, "Is that your mantle? Is that are those your feathers, or is that an item, or is that you showing? Are you? I mean, you're not like the other one. You're not like Ashad, but you have feathers on you now."
They are mine, and I am closely associated with birds. You could say they're a special favorite of mine.
But you're not a bird person.
No.
But you can turn into a bird. Are you a wizard? Are you a wizard pirate?
Well, I'm neither of those exactly.
Oh no, sorry. But so you're a wizard captain.
Do I know what being Godbound is? Is there a phrase for it?
No one has a phrase for it yet. You are something completely new in this world. There are sorcerers, there are wizards that have access to those spells, and they're orders of mages, but they're not as good as you.
I have found that I have certain powers, certain things that, in a way, obey me. The creatures of the sea, the creatures of the air.
Mm-hmm.
I care for them, and they care for me.
So you're not a wizard?
I don't think that would be accurate, but I can do things that wizards can't.
Like?
Well, I can fly, turn into a bird. I could breathe water. I can. Well, I can bake feathers on myself, that sort of thing. I don't know if wizards do that exactly.
I don't know what wizards do. I just know they're wizards, and I've read some things about them, and they cast spells. And I read about this wizard who summoned up this army of iron horses and let them loose across the land. And I read this other book about this necromancer, and what he would do is he would like kill his horse and then raise it from the dead, so he didn't have to feed it, and then he would ride that horse.
That seems unpleasant.
That's what I thought too.
The only wizard I've ever encountered could dislocate his jaw.
Like across the room?
No, like very wide, and try to swallow people.
That doesn't seem like a good spell to learn.
He was very deadly.
Oh. Okay.
And a thoroughly unpleasant person.
Oh. Did you kill him?
Not yet.
Oh.
I haven't seen you dancing. Are you concerned it might draw too much attention? Or are you not a dancer?
I've never danced, so I couldn't say.
Would you care to?
If you show me how.
I certainly will. There's a real freedom to dancing, if you will. And I'll kind of pull her towards the dance floor. And it starts with a step to the right. And as I say that, this isn't the game where we're doing musical theater, but fuck it, I'm putting on a musical number.
Okay.
As I begin singing to the song and going through a, description of dancing as we're twirling, and I'm doing my nightingale to bring others into a massive dance number.
Excellent. So you commit effort for the scene. And what is the idea you want to get across to these people as we get the Bollywood or the Disney musical dance here?
I think I'm trying to show, at least lay the groundwork for our group being important in this area. And I think it's that we're not the same as normal people. That you're seeing something amazing when you see us and me. Maybe you're seeing something else amazing when you see me and them too. Is more accurate.
Absolutely. And you'll draw like just about everyone in. Not your companions, unless they want to be in. They have
to be in.
Okay.
This is amazing.
But just about everybody else into this, including, of course, the bird and the Ton Sakar, who has kind of been off to the side, standing aloof dancing as well. Yashad dances. You'll see the cats dancing since they actually can stand up on their hind legs. And so they are also in there. And the CG, we spent a lot of money on the CG, so it doesn't just look uncanny valley. So everybody is with that, with the exception of Nuan Lao. As she hovers around the edges of this, watching this happening there. What is the flourish? What is the end of the dance number?
I think that as we have everybody doing the big synchronized, going back to those first initial steps, which are probably kind of waltz like, we then get the big, ha to end where everybody hands up and I'll dip her there in the middle of it all.
And there will be an explosion of applause and a great just all kinds of enjoyment there. You will see sort of when that happens that Rahan immediately gets back off the dance floor. He's still kind of suffering under the cloud of Tassos's thing, and he's now panicked. How did that happen? What's going on? And Temple Durjaya will come over to where you are, Captain. And she says, "You have an amazing singing voice."
Thank you.
And she's still kind of not quite sure exactly what has just happened, but she does bow and in front of everyone she's the head of her order. Mm-hmm. So
I will return with a rising phoenix bow.
Yeah, and at that point you're kind of surrounded by people who want to chat with you and talk with you, and look, the drinks are brought over to you, and iced beverages and fruits and things like that.
Excellent.
Tassos.
Hello.
What are you doing after the dance number? Did you dance?
No. Let's take back the very serious.
Fredless gave you the evil eye, though, I think.
I think as the dance breaks up some, I'm going to approach several of the cats. And when I get within a couple feet of them, I will shrink down to cat-meat shape, although keeping the night sky and starlight motif going on with the fur and skin.
May I ask you, are you trying to do that out of sight of people? Or
No,
are you
not particularly?
Okay, so people see you transform into a cat. There will be some people clearly, did I just see? Oh, good. And the cats will greet you, Tassos. Tassos.
Hello. It's good to see you here at festivities.
And it is good to see you here. You survived the fall into the pit.
Yes, although it was much less dramatic than it really promised to be.
Well, that is a good thing, given that many have not come back from that.
How could that be a good thing? I didn't even get to talk to her, touch her.
They say, she is undead.
Yes, but if I'd gotten close enough, maybe I could have heard her screaming.
You are a sick puppy, aren't you?
tail or the fur along Tessa's back bristles up. I think I find that insulting.
In what way is that insulting, sir? You're the one who said that you wanted to hear the screams of an undead god.
I realize that. I've just never reacted this way to being called a dog before.
Oh, well, there
It's
is
very
that.
odd.
I apologize. Let us just say that you're sick.
Okay. Thank you.
Candied mouse?
Oh, that sounds absolutely horrifying.
Yes.
They have you. Do you have one?
Yes. We are tended to. There are servants that are assigned merely to prepare things for us.
Oh, the fur crunches very strangely.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Oh, ooh, the tail is extra sweet.
Yes. Tell me, when you turn back to a person, like, do the contents of your stomach change or not change? How does it work?
Well, I've never looked in to check, but I'd imagine they mostly stay there. My clothes don't change. Well, they change, but they come back.
I see. I guess I don't
Go
see,
away
but
until I become a cat again. It's an interesting question.
are your clothes part of you?
Well,
Our fur is part of us. And sometimes we wear a cute little collar. That would be counted as clothing.
it's true. I can't remember the last time I actually put on clothes. So maybe.
It is much handier than having to deal with the clothing thing.
I find myself wondering if I've been walking around naked this whole time.
It's not naked if you don't think it's naked.
Oh, well, good. That's better. I came to ask.
Yes.
This is a night of festivities and glamour and unusual circumstances. And I was wondering if you and your tribe might consider joining me afterwards for an opportunity, a gift, I hope.
Well, you have me intrigued, and I am curious.
I didn't want to say, it's
Yes, I know.
rude.
A little too on the nose.
It's just, I still feel like an outsider, honestly.
Well, yes. After everything is said and done, when the moon has set, when the blood has been spilt, yes.
Good. Then meet me by the well.
Why by the well?
It's the greatest source of power, mystery, and terror that I've run across thus far. Unless you know one better.
No, but we do not go near the well. The night road lies there, and we do not approach that.
Yes. Yes, but tonight, I think I should show you something interesting. And at the very least, show that Rahan Din is a useless moron.
I didn't catch the last part of what you said there.
At the very least, show that Rahan Din is a useless moron.
I do like showing humans being stupid.
It's pretty fun.
I will have to speak. Some of us will come.
Good. I hope you'll find it enjoyable. I'm looking forward to it.
See, that does not alleviate my concerns, given what we've already established as your judgment.
So you'll come.
As I said, curious.
Perfect.
Threadless. Whew, that was quite the dance number.
It was. Yes, and I do give the captain the applause that he deserves. I'm very pleased with that. And I think that is the time when it just seems like she could feel that prickle of annoyance, not her own, but someone else's. And she knows that Minoraz is around somewhere.
Yeah. He has arrived like at the tail end of the dance number and clearly like had to brace himself in the doorway. And only now has he come in and he's in like the others, the fanciest of his uniforms, and he's gone over to the tables and you see him like he goes to a dish and he like pulls things and throws things off of it and then takes the rest. Like he's a very picky eater. There are servants that seem to be following him because this is clearly his modus operandi, and they come behind him and clean up after he has done that.
I watch all of this. I'm just standing a little ways back.
Turns to you, yes!
I'm just waiting for you to finish up your little nibbles.
Never be finished with the nibbles. But go on.
I just think that, well, you owe me a dance.
What?
That's right.
Why would I owe you a dance?
Because I am the winner.
Keep your voice down.
Because I am the winner.
Yes, you don't have to repeat yourself. I heard it the first time. Slams his plate down. Farewell. Let us dance.
She's had her practice now.
Okay. And let us say that what probably follows is a significant competitive dance.
Awesome.
Why don't you make a dexterity check?
All right. I'll do this thing. Wrong one. So many roll with me's open. Okay. So here we go. I'm rolling a 1d20. I rolled a 14. If that it makes it by plenty.
And allow me to roll for him.
Oh, he rolled better.
He rolled better. So
I have a saved roll, right?
Are you gonna make him roll a 1?
Well, that might end up painful. But maybe I will.
Are you going to?
Yeah, sure.
I think there is that moment when he like thinks he has the lead, and it goes into that thing where you like spin your partner out and he thinks he has control of that, but you do that. And I think that his foot comes down on some food that he had earlier thrown off to the floor. And I think that is the moment when he whoop.
Oh, and I catch him. And it's like I put him in a dip.
Yeah.
Oh, careful there.
He
she stands him up.
And he says, just kill me now.
No, that would be completely unfair.
Just kill me.
Besides, it should be the end of their line, right?
If you excuse me.
And she goes,
there are nibbles.
It's true.
And he walks over, and this time he picks up a complete thing. He doesn't pick anything off of it. He takes the plate and he goes off to the side, sits down, and then kind of moves some of the things off on the side of his plate. Or Devi, did you participate in the dance?
Yes, of course. But I think, you know how in some musical numbers, there's like a kind of a part where there's sort of a banter back and forth, like someone interjects some some silly thing. That's Ordevi's part in this particular number. I don't know what it's about.
Pops in
yeah. And it's not sung, it's kind of rapped, you know. Like that was his contribution to this. Like at some point, Ransom goes, like points to Ordevi, and he sort of does his part. But yeah, and he loves it. He just loves that. I just love that moment. I love the song. I love everyone acknowledging and recognizing the Godbound and our unique position, and that we do it through song. Because there's part of me that's more observing. Everyone getting swept up in it as part of this sort of human mortal experience that everyone else is having.
And after that, who do we see you talking to? What do we see you doing?
I feel like I want to approach Yashad. And
like carefully getting their feathers back into place.
Right. And I sort of am overflowing with compliments about their singing and dancing in that number.
It's not my forte, not my skill set, but I do try.
I never would have known. You were a natural.
Good of you to say. Are you a warrior like your brother?
I've been known to dabble in the violent arts. I tend to prefer verbal sparring through riddles and wit, but you know, I can throw a punch if that's necessary.
Oh, I was hoping certainly I'm going to be sparring with your brother.
Yes, you'll have to wait until tomorrow.
No. He said that he was not around.
Right. Yes.
I don't quite understand, but fair enough. Fair enough.
I'll be honest.
Yes.
Neither do I.
Oh. All right then. Fair enough. Was there something I could do for you?
I was somewhat curious. I understand that there's a connection between all of you who are members of this guild. Is that something that you've looked into? Something that you're familiar with?
She stops and she says, "How do you know that?"
Oh, it's plain to see. I mean, when you were all singing and dancing before, there was a synchronicity there. There was just a level of attunement and attentiveness. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. We've done that number with many groups, and none were as just swept up and accomplished as you all were.
She says, "We are members of an order, and we are certainly bound to certain oaths and things. That may be what you are sensing."
It felt like there was something maybe more there, that the connection was I don't know, supernatural.
She gets very quiet.
Please, Yashad, there's no way I can offend you. We are, we've become quite good friends. And of course, my brother would also be interested in this as well.
These are things that we do not speak with about to outsiders.
How can you call us outsiders? Look, everyone is there talking to Ransom now. Threadless is practically dressed this entire crowd. I mean, none of us really talk about Tassos anyway, but Tassos has unraveled mysteries about the cats. We're practically family.
But you are not an assassin.
Well, I've killed people. In my imagination, I would get really angry at folks, and I would just be like, "Oh, I'm so mad at them. They could just die," and then I would feel really badly about it. So I feel like maybe I've had a moment where I felt like an assassin.
Allow me to set aside how condescending that sounds to me. For the moment, there's a great deal, a world of difference, let us say. I do not say this to offend you or to give you insult.
Well, you have offended me. And I just wanted to get to know you and the assassins better. I felt like maybe there was a synergy and that there was an opportunity for us to collaborate on research and, how do you put it, violence.
Were it my choice. Certainly, I would love to bring you and your compatriots into our confidence and our orders. As it is, as Durjaya says, that we need new blood to survive and expand. Otherwise, we are doomed.
So you are saying you are nothing but a caged bird. Too far.
If you meant to ruffle my feathers, you have succeeded.
Who is it that stands between you and me? Who is it that's preventing you?
It is the order itself. It is the way of our things here. And you see her kind of fall into like she's clearly thinking about it. And she says, but wait. She says the Lunar Conjunction is about to happen.
Well, that's exciting.
And she'll gesture up to the moon and the different models that are up above. And you will see them kind of move out so you can see all of the moons. And there is that one where they all kind of line up there, and the ceiling kind of glows with moonlight. That's just reflected sunlight. And it glows down. And I think everyone is looking up, and you will hear a voice say, "Murderers, be still." And you see nearly everyone in the room freeze. And you see this woman step forward as this mask appears on her face and two other masked figures appear. And
like on the dance floor?
On the dance floor.
They just sort of emerge from the wings.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And they draw blades and begin to move towards the assassins.
What is happening?
And let's take our break here. And we will continue on. So let's take 10 and we'll come back. All right.
That's great. Thanks.
You will see these three figures. I have pictures of them. If you go to the NPCs tab to the far right at the top, I have pictures of these three masked figures. The bottom one is what that your associate, Nuan Lo, looks like when she manifests her full mask. And they look like they are setting to. The one guy has a sword that is crackling with power. The other person has called up these stones, and more of them are appearing around them, sort of in the air. She has drawn a blade as well and is moving towards the nearest assassin. So we are on round one. That is to tell you that I say this because we are using the escalation die from 13th Age, which means after the first round, in each subsequent round up to the 6th round, there'll be a cumulative +1 to your to hit rolls. It'll be easier to hit. The consequence of this is that the bad guys often start out a little more powerful at the start, just as a heads up. That's how they balance things a little bit. But it does mean as you go along, you'll whiff less, which in these D20 games is the worst. Initiative is one side and then the other in this. And unless there is a striking reason to have the bad guys go first, the good guys go first, which probably in this case is you, I think, as far as things go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with Ransom, and we'll go through your side. You'll say who goes after you. Whoever goes last on your side will go first on your side on the following turn. Ransom, you may start or you may hand the lead off to someone else. Again, great big room, tables, lots of material, furniture, things around, stuff up in the sky, up above to like line onto and swing from, plenty of room to fly around.
How high is the ceiling?
Maybe 100 feet.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. You are indoors. There are these three figures. There are between the assassins, who are all frozen, and the servants who are not frozen, but who are like moving away. There are maybe 75, 80 people in this chamber right now, just to give you a sense of scale and the like. So there are a lot of people in the way and things like that. So what do you want to do, Ransom?
Okay. I am going to, first I'm going to look over to my little friend, Lasia, and kind of, protect yourself, stay out of trouble, as I leap up and transform into an eagle and fly straight up as quickly as possible. Actually, if it's an eagle, that's hard to fly straight up. I think I'll just turn into, say, a robin and leap up.
Okay.
That's a quicker one.
Sure, absolutely. So yeah, transformation costs nothing. So it's an instant. And what do you want to do?
Well, I want to get to 50 feet, and if that takes my turn, then that's fine.
Oh, I know. I think that's a move with your speed.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, and then I want to plummet back down with my attack.
Okay. And who are you attacking?
First off, I'm guessing they are not lesser foes.
No.
So I suppose I'm going to go.
I will tell you that the stones that are being manifested, you can tell are manifesting into a summoned mob.
That one's doing.
Yeah.
And other guy looks like he's got a glowy sword. Is that what that is? Okay. Well, take out the wizard first. I will go after Stone Guy.
Okay.
So as I plummet down, my robin will change into let's see, let me make sure there's not a problem with me changing. Okay, that's fine. So I'm plummeting down, and I think you to manifest my talons and beak. I think on this robin, you see like its head, the beak gets longer. You can see that it has this very deadly point as I commit effort for talon and beak.
Okay.
And let me spin that effort.
Is that an auto hit?
Oh, I've already done that actually, because I've always been in that feathery bit. So I've got that sitting there.
Yeah.
Yes. First time each scene that the user makes a plunging dive attack from an altitude of at least 50 feet. It is an automatic hit, and damage is rolled twice with the better result being used.
All right. I'm going to spend an effort from him. I need you to make a spirit save.
All right.
Essentially, he is doing a word of deflection.
Okay. So my spirit is a 12, so I need to roll under or above? Above a 12.
Above a 12.
Above a 12. All right. Come on. I rolled a 20.
Okay. So absolutely, like you see him see you come down, and the mask glows, and you see like stones appear, but you shatter right through that. He doesn't even get a chance to deflect that. So go ahead and roll your damage, which I believe is a D8 for you.
D10 with the talon and
that's right.
Beak.
So roll twice.
All right. 8.
Okay. So 8 will be 2 points of damage to him. Or rather, and 2 levels worth of damage, or 2 hit dice worth of damage on him, and that will tear into him, and he will cry out as the blood sprays across there, and he shouts out something. He shouts out something in a foreign language. Who goes after you?
Ooh, I think I'm gonna have Threadless go next.
Threadless, you see these 3 masked figures, plus this mob that is forming.
All right. I also see that Ransom has taken on the magician. I sort of look at the white-haired woman and recognize that was Tassos's dance partner. So I'm like, okay, I'll let him handle her. Essentially, you'll see her raise up her hands And those crossbows kind of like light up, and then her bow's in her hand, because that's just, you can always call it to her from any place. And I think that I will commit oh gosh, hold on a second, I flipped to the wrong thing on the characters. Seeking flight on the swordsman.
Okay.
So I commit effort to the end of the scene for this. My ranged attacks seek the mark regardless of range, treat them as AC 9, and completely ignore cover provided there is at least some path for my arrow to reach them.
Absolutely.
And you can only do one of these in a round, right?
If it's there are some of them that are free, but anything that says commit, you essentially that's your
okay.
Do it.
That's okay. This one works for the scene, so it's fine. So I will do that, and yeah, and it is not particularly imaginative, but we have to explore these things.
Okay. Roll against an AC of 9. So you roll your attack bonus plus 9, and you're trying to get above a 20.
Well, my attack bonus plus 9 plus a d20?
Yeah.
Okay, so d20.
So basically what is the higher their armor class is, the more you add to your roll.
Okay,
so make it easier to hit them.
It has my base attack bonus is 3.
Okay, so roll and add 12.
Okay. 19.
That will hit.
All right.
And roll your damage.
Okay, so here's the thing is, I don't know what my damage is with these. I didn't like take note. I assume it's just the basics. What's the
basics are if we look here at, I believe under character creation.
Like I can make it 1d10 minimum and always do max and all that stuff. But
so a d8 is for bows.
Okay.
Plus your dexterity bonus.
Plus my dexterity bonus, which is 3, isn't it? 2. You mean the mod or the check?
The mod, the bonus.
Okay,
mod.
Yeah.
Mod, bonus, add.
Okay.
So many names.
Then control slash. I gotta get the right slash going here. 19.
I think you actually mean 4.
Yeah, that's wrong. 4. Oh, that was terrible.
Okay. So you will do a point of damage to him.
Okay, so he has armor.
No, the arm.
Oh, that's right. Like it's like you have these damage things. I forget that stuff. Sorry.
Sorry. No, that's okay. So yeah, you will nod an arrow in him.
I bring his attention to myself.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Who goes after you?
Now is this popcorn initiative? Do
this
we have
is
to let
all
them
on
go?
Your side goes,
Oh.
and then all on their side goes.
I think Tassos, because he's got a little skin in the game, and then or Devi to add some grace to the situation. So, because he's got the sun on his side.
Tassos.
So Tassos will begin making their way across the floor. They're heading straight towards Nuanlao.
Okay.
And I think their fingers are lengthening, like extra jointed, too many bends sort of lengthening, with long claws at the tip that drip with a neon venom coming off of them, just for funsies. But when I get up close to her, I lean in and I say in a sort of casual voice, I don't actually think I know this dance. Could you lead me through some of the steps?
She says, if you were to wait at the edges, you can have this place when we're done.
What sort of date would this be if I don't show an interest in your interests?
Nice. And attacking?
No. I'm trying to get her to talk, but if not, I'm shadowing her and eating up her attention.
Okay. Well, she will certainly turn her attention to you. She seems maybe even a little disappointed that you don't strike. So I'm going to go to her Devi. Or Devi, what do you want to do?
So many choices. Are they using magic? Or are these miracles? Or gifts?
You have the word of knowledge. Yes, their masks are either gods or portions of gods forged into those.
Damn it.
The you can tell that the one guy with the stones is using magic, is using sorcery to summon up that mob. So in addition to sort of the miracles that he has for other powers, he is using sorcery of the first tier, like the lowest tier.
I don't know. Ransom seems to have that dude well in hand. Because I could do my Purging Noonday Blaze, which basically burns all the magic out of the room, which would be interesting. But I kind of feel like punching the lady. I don't like the way she's talking to Tassos.
Yeah.
Or I can use a gift to find out who are these people and what do they want.
You could.
Does any of my colleagues have any preferences or suggestions?
But we know that they want to kill the assassins.
Yes.
So.
And why would we stop them?
Tradition.
The assassins are ours, though.
Yeah, they're ours to do with as we wish.
Yeah.
These are our toys.
Can't just come in here and knock them all down.
Stay away from our toys. I can get behind that.
Also, I may not be that comfortable with other assassins having god masks.
Yeah, we should get those masks away from them. All right, I've got a body of burning light.
Okay.
Which basically means my brilliance makes me almost impossible to target. And my unarmed attacks count as a magical weapon with a range of 200 feet and do a minimum of 1d10 damage.
Okay.
So I'm going to light up and I'm going to punch Nuan Lao.
Okay. Please roll. Her AC is 3.
Oh, fancy. And my attack is 3. So I'm rolling +6 and I need to get to 21.
Yep.
Hang on. All right. I don't feel good about this, but I did it. I rolled a 15.
Oh my gosh. So you're using magic. You can decide whether you want to use your strength bonus, your dex bonus to read the extra damage. You roll a d10 plus either your strength or your dex bonus.
That'll have to be dex.
Okay. What's your dex bonus?
The mod is 1.
Okay. So roll a d10 plus 1. Look at that. 4 points of damage. Tell me what that looks like when you slam that into her.
I mean, you can barely see because it is, I am glowing so bright. I mean, I'm glowing with the corona of the sun, basically. And I sense that it's not especially fast, but it is. It looks very powerful. So I'm not. It's not like I can just pop her. Like I'm really kind of putting a lot of my body English into this. And I come and I hit her cheek, and my hope is that it pops the mask right off of her face.
It doesn't move.
Jerk.
It is an artifact that you like when you hit it, it hits her, but you feel that thing stick. Like you're like, oh wow.
Okay.
This thing is significant. And there is a sound like a gong when you hit her.
Nice.
And you feel a reverberation come back down. You're going to take a point of damage. Essentially, this damage field blowback from her.
Or Debbie, I called this dance. Wait your turn.
And they will go. Let's see here. Let's start with that minor hero who will spend effort and raises that blade, and then he is next to you, threadless, and slashes.
AC is 3.
Spends effort for unerring blade.
What does that do? It makes me 9.
No, he does an auto hit.
Okay.
Not cool.
So 7+2 is 2 points of damage.
Okay.
Yeah. He spent one of his 2 points of effort.
Yes.
Auto hit you for 2 points and is maybe a little surprised when you don't fall under that blade.
Yeah, I think she nods to him. She goes, okay.
These stones will swarm you, Ransom. They will swarm at you. So let's see. What is your AC right now?
My AC is always a 3.
He's always a 3. So let's see. This is. And they swarm, but you dance around them. There are maybe 24 of these things, and they just. And
I am a very small bird.
You are a very small bird. You will see the mage will pull back and throw this blast at you. Let's see if he can hit you. Probably not. So he's rolling that. So your AC is 3. He's rolling +5. So that's an 8. 1d20. That will hit you.
Oh.
And he will do
Too much.
3 points of damage.
Ouchie.
Read it straight. Kind of singes you with this fire as he lets that off, like almost like a lava. Like he's still kind of attuned to that earth stuff as he flung that at you.
I think there's a bit of steam that comes off of me.
Oh, that's right. You've got all those water words.
All right, because my body's water.
And I think that that leaves us with Milady. She's going to take one swing at Ordevi and one swing at Tassos. Ordevi, what is your AC right now?
3.
3. Okay. And she will throw that blade, spins towards you, and then comes back crystalline over to her as she misses you. And then what? You're also a 3, Tassos?
No, an 8.
An 8. Good. So that does that. So 10 plus 5 plus 8 will hit. And she will do 2 points of damage to you as this other crystalline blade kind of flies out and cuts across your darkness.
And I think it like cuts across their arm, and they'll bring it up to their mouth and give it a lick with a long extended tongue and smile bloody teeth at her.
And you'll hear her go, ugh. Professor Evedro, you get to start this round. You all have a +1 to your to hit rolls now.
I've got something called Purity of Brilliant Law.
Okay.
Defensively dispel a hostile magic effect on yourself, or offensively dispel another gift for a round as if with a miracle. And I think I know what all of those words mean, but not in that order.
Sure. So what do you want to do?
I mean, I want to remove the mask. And I feel like it's being held on. If that thing is a god or part of a god, it's being held on with a gift of some sort. And so I want to dispel that gift.
Interesting. Okay. Spend that effort.
It's instant. So I don't even need to spend effort. I can just boop.
Okay. Well, I will do their spirit save. It will hit. You'll feel it hit there, but it does resist that effect. But you can feel like, yes, this could work.
Oh, I think.
And her attention is no longer on Tassos.
I'm like, Tassos, I think there's another person in her life now.
Worst wingman ever.
I'm very charming. That is an instant. Does that take up my move?
No, that doesn't take up your action. No.
So, oh my gosh. I'm just going to punch her again.
Okay. AC is a 3, plus your base attack bonus, plus another +1.
So I need to roll a 14 this time.
Yep.
I rolled a 20.
Look at you knocking it out of the park. So roll that a D10 +1. An 8. So that follow-up hit kind of staggers her back, and you will, on the blowback from that, you'll take nothing on the blowback.
Fantastic.
So hits, her tension's on you, kind of staggers her back, and she's clearly gathering her effort together.
I was like, my friend asked you for a dance.
Tassos.
Wait, was that off or on? Ah, dang it.
You're on.
Okay. Getting used to having a mute button again. Let's see. Well, I can't really have her ripping or Debbie's face off.
Mm-hmm.
He sort of likes his face, I guess. So yeah, I will try and claw at her and try and get those knives away from her. She just have the two, or like, is she one of those people with 8,000 knives?
She has manifested those blades.
Oh, interesting. Then yeah, they'll rake at her arms.
Okay. AC is 3. What's your base attack bonus?
4 for melee.
Okay. Plus another +1 for the escalation die.
So 8.
So yeah.
Plus 10 is 18.
No. So you go to rake at her, and she is already kind of moving away from you, leaving you behind, not even looking back.
This is hurtful. This is why I don't go to dances.
Who goes after you?
Ransom. Oh, Threadless, you got an idea?
Oh no, you get to call. So it's Ransom or me.
I was gonna say Ransom seems busy.
Ransom.
Alrighty. Well, I'm going to attempt something by myself. So I think as I've been dodging the stones as they swarmed in at me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try to, and I'm sneaky-ish. It doesn't take an effort to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to follow one of these stones as I dodge it, and then bird leap up, and I'm going to try and do a miracle.
Interesting.
And see if this works. I'm going to do borrowed iron and memory. You may steal either a memory or an object they are holding or wearing. If you steal the object, lesser foes won't notice, greater foes will. But it only has to save if it's a memory I'm going after. So I'm trying to hit that mask.
Because it's a part of the thing, I am going to give them a save.
Makes sense.
Just because of the nature of this thing. And you will grab it off, and you feel your hand shake, and then the mask is gone.
Ooh, okay.
Like something else in the world tears it out of your hand. But that guy is standing there. And the stones are still up. Like, that's clearly his sorcery.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll feel a bunch of other stuff drop from him. Sound good?
Excellent.
Okay. Threadless.
Okay. So I commit effort. Essentially, to do a bolt of invincible skill.
Okay.
All right. Essentially, I just have to roll above a 1 and it will hit.
All right.
And then it
There's
will do
almost
max
no
damage.
chance you can fail.
Yeah, so I have those mad skills. So let's see how it goes. I'm on the wrong page. Okay. I rolled an 8.
That will hit.
17. So it was a good roll anyway. And then it does maximum damage. So
4 points.
no, yeah. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
So where does that hit him? Like, he's still got like just the most barest bit of life left, but where do you plant that arrow into him?
See, and this is the thing is like he's standing like right there.
Yeah.
So she brings her bow up and she just fires up, and the arrow goes up into the dark, up there by the moons, and it arcs through the whole constellation thing, and then it sort of comes back down and comes back at him, and I think it just hits him like in the back, right?
Yeah, I think you see it come out the front too.
Okay.
Like it goes through him, and there's a cough of blood as he like tries to brace himself to raise that blade at you again. And then they go. I'm going to spend my last effort from him because he may not last another round.
This seems reasonable.
And I'm going to roll. And he is going to strike you for 2 points.
All right.
Cuts into you.
And she says, with great sympathy, that was a good swing.
These stones on you, Tyler.
Yes.
One of them will hit.
Ouchie.
And they'll do the mob. So this is what I can do with the mob.
I always get mobbed.
3 points.
Jeez Louise.
And he is going to try and do a spell on you. That will miss. You see him, like, he essentially casts sleep. You know, he goes to desperate, like to sorcery basics to try and like disable you. And you'll feel that kind of wash over you, and you're like, puh, not even worth it. What is your AC or Debbie as this woman comes in at you to put all of her attention and cut you down like ripe corn?
It's still 3.
It is still 3. All right. So 3. So I'm going to need 8 or better on each of these attacks. Mother Puss Bucket. Even together, they're an 8, but it's a 5 and a 3. Like, she comes at you with these blades and she slices through the air. You feel the rend of it, and you're just not there.
Right.
Not there at all.
She's blinded by the sun.
Absolutely. Like she can't get that where she's supposed to hit, and you're just gone. Threadless, you were last on that last round. You go on this round first.
Wait.
Escalation dies at 2.
Wasn't or Debbie the last on that round?
No.
No?
It was you.
Oh, okay. It was me?
You put
I
the
can
arrow
go
in that
again?
dude. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to hit him again.
AC is 4.
4, and the escalation die is 2.
2.
6 plus whatever. 6 plus is AC.
So AC is 4.
Oh, I'm sorry. 6 plus 2, and then I have like a dexterity bonus, right?
No, you don't add your dex bonus to the attack roll. You add it to your damage.
Do I have a base attack bonus though? That's
So base attack
6.
bonus plus
Yes.
4 plus the escalation die. So base attack bonus plus 6.
All right, so that's 9. All right, so
12 or better.
all right. Boo.
Boo.
Can you spend your thing like after? No, you can't. After you fail, can you do the?
No, I don't
thing?
believe so.
That was
unless
it.
you,
There's
unless you
like
have the,
one of the
unless you have the
skills that
luck
you can do
word, I think, that can do that.
Yeah, I have a luck word that can do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could buy that one.
Who goes after you?
I slip into blood, and then I'm like, oh,
And he's like,
there's a lot.
now
Miss-
is my chance. It's
true.
my time.
This will do it for sure. And I think Tyler needs to go next.
Ransom.
Ransom goes.
All righty. We only get 1 action per round, right?
Yeah.
Is that the thing? Okay. So I can't turn back and do anything. I've got to stick in bird form.
Well, what is it? Does it cost?
It's an own turn action.
Oh, okay, to transform, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So sticking as bird. I didn't really choose a bird form that can talk, so I don't think I can talk to him. So I can't tell him to surrender. Can I attack the stones around me?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to try and wipe them out, I think.
Okay. So you can make your attack on them. Do you have any powers that like do big stuff to mobs? There's some powers that will.
I don't.
Okay.
And Tyler, if you want to change back, it's an on-turn action to change back, so you can do that and still do an action.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, let's make. Yeah, that may be right. I
In
always.
the middle of it, the change lasts for as long as is desired and can be reverted as an on-turn action.
Well, that's the question of can you do more than one action?
Yeah, I think you're right.
On-turn means it doesn't take up your action, but you can only do it when it's your turn.
That's right.
Instant means you can do it on anybody's turn, and it doesn't take up an action.
Oh, okay. Then, all right. Then I transform back into me, look at him and say, surrender, and attack the stones.
Okay.
So I need to roll to attack. Is that correct?
Yes.
And I'm +1 because of the escalation?
+2 right now.
+2.
And their AC is a 6.
I'll figure that. I rolled a 19. That's going to.
Yeah, that's all you need to know. So go ahead and roll your damage.
Did I hear you say you add strength to damage if it's melee? And okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't done that. I should remember to do that this time. Rolling. That's a 5.
That's a 5. So you do 2. I also forgot you've been engaged this mob for 3 rounds. What is your fray die?
What is my fray die?
Let's see.
Do I have? It's not listed on my thing.
Look here.
I have. If it's the same as my normal damage, right now I'm a T10.
Let me check. I always forget what that is at the start.
Fray die should be a D8.
D8. Thank you.
Okay.
So I need you to roll me 3d8, Tyler.
3d8. Alrighty. I'll do that. That's D10. And do 1, 2, 3. Roll. 8, 4, 8.
So that's me 4, 5, 7. So in just the course of being there and flying around, you have taken out over half of these stones. You have shattered over half. They are just a handful left at this point, because you're awesome. And what does that look like? What do you imagine? Like your casual attack, your casual strength that you do. How is that shown on screen?
I think it's very much as I'm dodging, you're seeing like this wing come up, and as it catches it, because I've got these super sharp feathers, it just slices through, and there's a lot of me shooting through beak first, shattering them.
Who goes after you?
Let's see. It was you first, Sherry, then me. Patrick, why don't you go? Tassos.
All right. Here as I'm disengaged for a moment since she's run off with another man. Looking around and sort of feeling one of my words is night. And this all went down and they appeared at like the stroke of that alignment. Was that drama, or do I feel that that's tied somehow to something that they're doing here?
They used a moon bridge to enter.
Gotcha.
Well, she was here. She opened the moon bridge. so that the other two could follow through.
Gotcha. And what's up with the other two masked people right now? I know one of them's got their mask ripped off.
One of them has a mask ripped off. He is trying to invoke various magics to bring down Ransom. Ransom is tearing through his rock mob. The other guy has an arrow protruding from his sternum and is desperately trying to keep on his feet. As he,
blood. Thrillist is also.
Yeah, Thrillist has fallen down in the blood.
I think I'll go help Ransom out.
Okay.
Tassos will like roll their eyes and stalk unhappily over towards where Ransom is and just begin like swatting rocks out of the air.
Okay.
As that venom that's dripping off of his fingers hits them, it begins to like etch and eat into the rocks.
Let's have you make your attack roll, which you're going to roll whatever your base attack bonus is, plus a total of 8 between the escalation die and their AC.
Oh my, okay. It's 12, so I need an 8 or better. Oh, nope, just one of you guys.
Look at
that's
that.
A 19.
So roll your damage. Yeah.
It's actually max damage because of the dripping claw acid. So that'll be
4.
11.
Roll me, so that'll be 4 points. And then roll me a D8.
You guys, but not that. Now roll. And that's a 6.
And that last of these shatters. And he staggers back. And you see like the life start to fall out of him, just pour out of him.
Oh,
that killed it.
You really like those rocks.
Who goes after you?
I think it's down to our Devi.
Or Devi. This mage collapses. There is this woman who is trying to stab you. And there's an arrow guy with a hit point left.
I'm going to I'm going to overdo it. And
okay.
I've got a gift. It's a universal gift called Corona of Fury.
Okay.
Which basically hurl a torrent of my words' energy at a group of foes, affecting all within a 30-foot radius. Each victim takes a D8 of die of damage for every 2 levels that I have.
Okay.
Rounded up. So I can spare allies, but the victims get a saving throw.
Okay.
This is considered a smite action. I don't know exactly what
that means is, so you're gonna be rolling 2d8 for damage if you hit on these guys. And basically we read each die on that table separately. So you could conceivably do up to 8 points of damage.
Right. All right.
So the 2 people are AC 4 and AC 3.
Am I rolling twice?
Yeah, you should roll for each one.
All right. So for the 4 plus 3. Yep.
Plus another 2, yeah.
Plus 2. Okay, so I need to roll 12. I just missed at an 11. I mean, I hit the other one.
Yeah, let's read it that way. Go ahead and roll me 2d8.
A 5 and a 4.
Plus your bonus. What's your damage bonus with dexterity?
1.
One. So 6 and 5 is 3 points of damage. What does that look like when you drop her?
Well, I think the way this works is it just says hurl a torrent of my words energy. So I think the sun, as bright as I am right now, my feelings have sort of overcome me. And I'm even brighter. And it just sort of launches out as kind of a beam from my entire body.
And she's lifted up. She flies, smashes into the floor, kind of skids across it, and you will see that mask fall off her face. And it's like some force grabs it, and it's gone.
Who's next?
This guy, Threadless, is going to swing at you with all he's got.
Hey.
What is your AC?
3 low.
3.
I'm lucky. So think of it as she's trying to get up in the blood. And she's a very difficult target.
He will hit you with the 16 roll.
Oh, that's good for him.
And he's going to do 4 points of damage to you.
Really well done.
Slices into you. You'll also notice that the assassins start moving.
Good. And she sort of says, okay, I'm going to put an end to you now. All right? She'll commit the effort, just do the unmissable shot that does the maximum damage.
What does that look like when you put this guy down?
I think it does the same thing. It arcs off at an angle, but it comes back and it hits him so that last second, that is painless.
Absolutely. Tyler, let me ask you a question here. Because you've got an ability that might be able to intercept here. So you see this guy drop and you know what's about to happen. What do you do?
To be impressive, I will do a miracle to show off here. I don't know if I need to spin for it, but we see me jump up and flip in the air as I reach towards where his mask is and try to push up my sleeve.
Yeah, you feel this, it gets yanked by this divine power, and you grab it out of there. Like it's essentially almost like you Indiana Jones it and throw something in its wake that goes.
And poof, it pops into stasis up my sleeve.
Yeah, and you have that mask. And you will see all the assassins like they're mobile, they're moving, but they're not like moving because they're staring. They've clearly been able to see all this happen.
I will spend another effort and heal all the allies.
I definitely landed in the 3-point stance, or the 3-point
superhero stance.
Mm-hmm.
And no one says anything for a moment, and then Temple Durjaya says, "Who are you people?"
Hello, I'm Tassos.
I'm Threadless. I think we've come to take up residence here.
We're your new landlords.
She turns to you, Ransom, to hear, and she says, Captain.
We're your friends. And he'll crack a big smile.
I can smell the god on you.
Do I think she means what I've grabbed or me particularly?
No, so she said you four are not sorcerers. You're not spirits.
No, we're something new, but maybe something old.
Are you gods?
The answer is always yes when you're asked if you're a god.
No.
And you will hear Minaru's go, yes, yes. They're gods.
And she bows to him?
Goes, I'm very old. I've fought little gods. And he looks annoyed, and you see him grab his plate and storm out.
And she runs after him and she goes, wait, we have a god we need to kill. We need your help.
You see him stop, yes. Like he turns around, you have a god you need to kill.
Mm-hmm.
Well, or trap in a very small jar that I can sometimes look at and maybe smell and lick it a little bit.
Mostly we're going to kill him.
Oh, okay. Well, that I can help you with.
We'll talk about the jar thing.
Let's take 5 and let's come back to sort of the aftermath of this. How about? So I'd like to cut forward a little bit. The cats in the night road delayed a bit, if I may, Tassos. To a chamber, like clearly one of the meeting places. And there is a grumpy, unhappy looking Ken Desaga, Kanal Klukas, and then Temple Drajaya and Yashad. And we've clearly been discussing things. And Yashad will turn to to Ordevi, and will say, we are not like you, but we are bound to the last remnants of a divine power. When the shattering happened, we drew to us bits of the castle, as you've seen, as you know, drawn from all over. Places that were associated with knowledge, but also places that were associated with murder. And that is what we are bound to. Some of our more developed talents come from that, but that is how we are bound, and that is how we are connected, as you saw, Master Ordevi. And Temple Drajaya will say, do you know who the masked ones are? She says this in a way like, I'm going to tell you if you don't know, kind of thing. They are the agents of the Empire of the Hours.
I'll cut my eyes over towards Ordevi because I've never known anything that he didn't know. So I just see if there's recognition in your face.
Is this something that?
Oh yeah, they're one of the big three colonial empires. They lie to the east and to the south.
Right.
They are a highly organized, a highly hierarchical empire. You know that they have, and she will kind of fill in, and probably you and her will both kind of fill in the details on this, that they have 3 orders that serve their empire. There are the Torques. They bear Torques that are magical administrators. There are the Gauntlets. These are military that have these magical gauntlets, and there are the masks. And these are all forged from their gods. They killed their gods and forged them into these things. The masks are particularly potent. They're the most potent of their objects. And legend has it that they can't be destroyed, but there, of course, there's stories about them being destroyed or like rare. But it is said that they follow their own destiny. They get lost, and then they find another bearer that they go to. They can be lost for a long time. The more of them that gather together of these lost ones in place, the more likely it is that they will change the destiny to move back to find a bearer.
They always return to the Empire to find a bearer.
She says, I don't think so, but they may have new magics, new things. I had always heard that when an agent falls in the field, their mask shapes fate to find its way back home, but not like what we saw here. But it does mean that you can hold on. I mean, you took that mask, you can hold on to it, but I would be careful if you accumulate more of them. The more of them that you accumulate, the more likely that destiny will turn against you to have them lost.
Then you think now that having gotten it, it won't disappear or be pulled away.
No, it's always been my impression that it's not, that the magic that moves them back home is over generations rather than in the real world time.
I'll pop it back to my hand then and kind of look at it.
It chooses its bearer. So it isn't like something that you can put on yourself.
It probably wouldn't be safe to do that anyway.
We had heard that the Empire of the Hours had begun to send people to our lands, but this was a coordinated, very specific and targeted attack. And Ken DeSaga goes, yes. But that's all good. That's all well and good. What you're and Durjai says they're in charge now.
Oh.
Do you think they have forged an alliance with these rival assassins of yours?
I don't think so. But I mean, I would assume.
So they may be pushing on them as well.
I do not know.
Why should these agents come after this Assassin's Guild specifically? Were you venturing into the Empire of the Hours?
No, we do not work there, but there is a great deal of power in this castle, and we are a tool that are used by people to enforce agendas and enforce will within the islands.
You say we're in charge now. Yeah, that doesn't mean we're in charge of your assassins guilds, does it?
It means that we would like to continue as we have done, that we will clear any tasks of significance with you, and we will caretake this place.
I'll look at the others. That seems fair to me.
Dreadless stops and says, we have gifts. You should consider which of those would be most useful to your purposes.
Also, we all get permanent gold ribbons.
Yes.
Good. Good.
I'll put my hand up to Rancid so he can take all the stolen ones out from under his cover.
They fall like confetti. I'll have a word with the doorman.
He had nothing to do with it.
Will you build a temple here?
We will recreate this so that it will be greater, more useful, more solid. We'll find what we have not yet found before. I hold the word of artifice. I am unparalleled in my ability to repair and to build.
So yes.
Excellent. So we have an understanding. We will help one another. You will be in charge. Are there any other things that we should come to an accommodation about?
What are your feelings on more orders of assassins?
That has been under discussion for many years, and we've been at a logger jam over that. Ken, and she turns to him, believes that the present ways are the best. I believe that change is necessary.
Good, you're good. Go with that one. He's stupid. That's a bad idea. You've obviously been wasting a valuable resource in the cats that you have here. I think they should be organized and put to better use.
In what way?
You know, hunting, assassinating, things like that.
But they came here to not do that.
Well, details to be determined. They came here to not be killed.
No, they came here to not kill as well.
Look, we'll agree to disagree on what the cat's deepest desires are. You obviously haven't spent much time talking to them.
May I ask, what is your relationship with the town?
It has always been more of a structured division. We have the servants that we supply, and they work for us, and we in turn provide them with food and shelter, and we use them to utilize trade. It's always been a good relation. As well, we protect the pirates that come and birth here. It is well known that attacking this place, or at least it has been known in the past, in anti-piracy measures will result in a response from us.
Good. Anything else, my friends? It sounds like we have some work to do.
Durjaya says, I will speak with you, Threadless, about quarters and so on, about establishing places. Is there anything else you need besides talking to the cats?
She sort of turns and says, to some extent, we probably need to know as much as anything of what you need. And she goes, you have been making a lot of, how should we say, sacrifices to maintain what you have now. You might look forward to a more prosperous and populated set of futures.
And she will nod. Everybody can get 2 more Dominion.
Oof. Ooh. Wow.
Does anybody want to start investing Dominion here?
Yeah, yes.
So let's look at what Dominion can do. I'll come to that in the books here.
And before we get to our complete end, I do have one thing I want.
Oh yeah, I just want to do this and then let you have a kind of a go around. Divine powers. I like this game, but I wish it actually had a functional index.
Index is real bad.
Yeah.
I've got the PDF up if you want me to.
Yeah, see where the thing is on Dominion.
It's 126, I think.
Okay.
Oh, Patrick.
That was impressive.
Yeah.
So yeah, essentially, with your influence, you can use that to temporarily change facts about the world, and then Dominion, does more permanent. And to affect a village is like cost of 1. To affect a city is cost 2. To affect a region is cost 4. So I would say affecting this castle would be effectively a city. So it'd be cost 2 for things that you want to do to change that. Does that seem reasonable?
Is that each or is that for like between us?
So for let's say city 2, like for each fact that you want to change would cost 2, and you can spread that out amongst yourselves and things like that. And there's a lot more discussion of that in the books and the PDF if you want to take a look through that. I always handle it very abstractly in terms of what it is you want to do. So in the, like, once this meeting is sort of broken up and people are talking and the news is going around amongst the servants and the assassins about like how things are changing, or Devi, what do you want to do? Who do you want to talk to?
I think I will. What time of day is it?
We can cut forward to, I mean, are we still in or Devi, or if we move forward to Evedro time?
I feel like the ball was kind of all night. The fight was night, so we may be at dawn.
Okay.
Now,
So yeah, Evedro is here and has missed some awesome stuff.
Yeah. He's pretty irritated about that. And so he's asking Yashad for a blow by blow as to what, like, who did what in the fight, and whether Ordevi, looked good doing it.
When she praises Ordevi, is that pleasing to you or disappointing?
I mean, I don't know. You have a sibling. You definitely have mixed feelings about that. So he is.
And then he did this, and then he drew her attention from Tassos.
Yeah,
and she came
so
across.
Conflicted. I'm so conflicted right now. I want to express my pride, and yet it should have been me.
Truly, Ordevi was the hero of the hour.
I think we're back in the ballroom, and I'm supervising them dismantling the lunar stuff in the ceiling, and they're installing just a giant golden ball.
Okay.
So, like, my worshipers will come to this room to admire this golden ball that represents the sun, and the moons are now sort of in storage.
They've taken him down, put him in storage.
It's like, well, I think I know a place for those.
Yeah, there's a lot of mechanicians that he had to take down to get that.
Yeah, no, it's pretty impressive.
Be my guest. I mean, we have
I can make an elaborate carousel system.
Tassos, what about you in the follow-up to this?
I think we see Tassos in whatever they have as like a medical ward here.
Mm-hmm.
And they're standing by a bed where Nguyen Lao is laid out and like covered in bandages and burns and stuff on the bed. And they kneel down next to her and start whispering in the like unintelligible divine language words into her ears as he does, these ripples start to like go down her skin as it's moving and squirming and changing colors. But some of the like edges of the burns that are coming out from the bandages start to retreat a little bit, and they sort of smile and stand up and will leave, as I'd like to spend some influence to imbue her with shape-shifting and start working on her.
All right. Interesting. Despite her desire to murder you, which is probably still white burning hot in her.
But did you see the way she looked at me? She didn't want to murder me.
I mean, she turned away from attacking you.
We have
clearly.
a connection.
Yeah. Threadless, what about you?
Ooh. I think the first thing I do is and it's in the morning, and they have the breakfast thing out, and I come out and I have some of the tea. I make it heavier than it already was. Yep, exactly.
A lot more honey.
And I wait until some of the runner kids show up, and I go, I'm gonna need the whole group. If you could bring up people around the bikes too.
They'll gather everyone.
And then I start working through the map of where things are with them. And essentially, when they describe things, she sort of like draws it. Like, I don't know, she doesn't draw it. She has like a frame that she's keeping that's kind of like building that space. And like the kids will sort of go, well, no, it's like actually more over here, until she's made like this sort of model of the known interior of what exists right now.
So you're kind of 3D printing with thread or something?
Yeah, essentially that's almost it, but it like stiffens and it holds like those lines. So it's like a line drawing, but it's 3D and it holds there. And you could, and then like, you know, she puts like little labels in like what sort of things are there.
Like I imagine this is one of those like you know, multi-table having to do it, and you can't quite do it like all in one piece. You got to kind of probably like stage it in sections with different colored threads. But yeah, they will work with you on that.
Okay. And that's her getting the sense of like what it is that they first have to bring together and change and rebuild and reorganize. But essentially this is their home. So that's the first thing she starts with. But she always brings all of these other people in to help her.
And what about you, Ransom?
I want to ask first, how old is Lasia?
She's probably, you would guess, 17, 18.
Okay.
She's been here for a while.
Okay. I think we see me up in her little hidey hole place that I've found her before. And you have the freedom of the place. You don't need to hide anymore.
You told people they won't like throw me out?
No one's going to throw you out.
So you're not a sorcerer or a wizard, and your friends aren't sorcerers or wizards, so you're something else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I say, you can stay here, go anywhere you want here. But we're going to be here quite often. This is going to be kind of home base, but we're also going to be traveling. And
yes, please.
I'll sort of smile and, do you trust me?
You could turn into a bird. Yes.
And I'll take her hand and move over to the window and say, let's go see the ship. And I'll pull her out of the window and turn her into a bird like me.
Nice.
If she doesn't resist.
Yeah, no, she doesn't resist.
And we go flying off to the ship.
Let's say 2 XP, everybody. Very nice scene. Do you all mind doing a quick stars wishes for tonight? Let's do the order we just did. So, Professor Vedro, let's have you start with stars and wishes.
That was great. I really enjoyed doing the combat and getting my gifts activated in the combat.
And kicking ass.
Yeah.
You had some very lucky rolls. That was great.
Stars to my dice for giving me lots of good rolls that almost never happens. One of the things I really like about this game is that like combat looks different for everybody because we're all able to lean into our gifts really well, and I really just enjoyed watching everybody do that. So thank you for scratching the combat itch. What was my wishes. I was trying to formulate how I was going to ask Yashad about this other kind of god that we were dealing with in Lancena, and whether that's tied into the Empire of Hours, but I could not put the words together. So my wish is just to perhaps tie back into
okay,
that.
yeah. Well, yeah, and I think we can put put together what Tasso saw, that parasite god, his fear was like someone in a mask, which suggests that they may have been involved in putting him in place. But we'll clarify that and lean into that. Anything else?
That was it.
Okay. Patrick.
This is great. I love the ball scenes. I liked the weird mask attack, and I like the inclusion of the Hours people. I like those sort of like forged divine bits that are destinying around the world or around their people. I thought the musical dance number was
That was
delightful.
inspired.
I also liked glowing or Devi monster just shooting lasers everywhere. Wishes, I definitely still want to do something unwise with the Night Road. And, you know, as part of that or connected to that or something, you know, get a formal scene of like working out with the cats, what to be. Because I don't want to make them into another order of assassins that goes off and kills people. I'm very much into the idea of like them hunting down and devouring fears and feeding, powering off of that, doing weird things.
Interesting.
I am curious to talk to Nuan Lao more, just because it has been hard to have a straightforward conversation with her thus far. And I am very interested in like this weird kingdom, where she came from, what they're doing here, and really anything about her, because I kept trying to use my divine.
She doesn't have a mask anymore, so.
Yeah. Tassos kept trying to use their divine conversational shortcuts, and it kept not working, and they need to remember how to actually talk to someone to find out information they want.
Sherry?
Okay, yeah, dance number was amazing. I think it was fun to see all of the assassins in their their obligated dance, annual dance. That was sort of fun. I enjoyed hearing a little bit more about the life of the ochre assassins from the one fellow that I danced with, because names are super hard for me right now. Eben. Yeah, Eben. He was very charming. And Mena Rose is hilarious, and making a fool of him makes me giggle.
That was the best use of a lock I've ever seen in the game.
It was the worst best, right? You know, because it would have been super handy when we got attacked. But I was like, no, I can't lose to this guy. Yeah, I really like it. And I like the little, like, I won't say romance, but the how should we say, the indulging of Lasia, very much from Ransom. That was lovely. And or Devi Evedro duality was top of the game tonight, just causing trouble everywhere they went. And Tassos, I don't know if anyone can run towards destruction faster than he. but I am fascinated with where this will go. So yeah, straight to the night road. Ooh. Okay. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to building things, figuring out what we're going to put our influence in. I think that's always really fun to like go, this is what my impression that I've left on this place will be. And yeah, I'm just like, what are we going to change? How are we going to change it? What's important to us? We've only got 16 points of influence between us.
Okay. Only. All right. Tyler.
Stars to the whole ball. I thought it was super cool, and big star to getting into a fight. That was a lot of fun. They were dangerous and interesting and unique. I think that was really nice. I loved seeing Ordevi be kind of a badass. That was really fun to see. And I also I really like seeing Ordevi talk to people. So in the socializing bit before, because I feel like, Ordevi is such an interesting facet. And I feel like probably Ransom knows Evedro really well and really likes Ordevi more. So I love seeing him interact with people. I thought that was awesome. Really, really cool. Tassos, the pursuit of Masked Girl was wonderful and neat. The refusal to actually attack her, I thought was just such a good choice. I like the, kind of, again, where Sherry was like, is it a romance? But the sort of, well, you saw how she looked at me sort of thing of it. But at the same time, really, it's more the curiosity Tassos has about her that I find really interesting. And then Threadless, several moments in there being super awesome. Of course, beating your rival was fantastic. But I thought the slip in the blood as you're fighting and the luck, oopsie, and, all of that was really fantastic. Just fun. And I mean, you're a combat monster. So it was really interesting to see that as well. Wishes, I do sort of see Ransom. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of a relationship sort of thing forming with Lasia. I think he's fascinated with the idea of she's been denied freedom up until now, and he wants to give her the opportunity to see things. And he finds the way she talks, it is so direct, he really finds appealing.
Nice.
And I will kind of echo Sherry. I know that, you don't want to have huge home or building sort of homework build type sessions, but I would like to see putting in the Dominion, what these things mean.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to see that facet of the game.
One of the things I'll probably do is maybe we'll kind of put together a little worksheet of facts that we want to add, what people are spending, kind of tracking that so we can really see what we're doing with those things.
Right, because if we're getting a good long set of sessions,
mm-hmm.
I'd like to see that part of the game too.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thank you all so much. That was super fun. I remain enamored of Godbound. I am going to stop the recording.